Boston Healthcare for the Homeless has had a consistent focus on getting the best possible healthcare that we can for our population, which is homeless adults and children in the Boston area. So for us, it was a platform from which we could improve the healthcare for our folks, and so that's why we joined. Our population is they're a very complex population. They have many mental health issues. They have addiction problems, but they also have incredibly complicated health issues. That CIT has really allowed us to have a particular amount of time where we can focus on developing ideas that will really improve the health of our population, which we're very committed to. When you're thinking about changes to healthcare, it can be kind of overwhelming. And it's a very structured process that CIT goes through in order to make the changes. And so it really forces us to think of each problem in a very concrete way. What are we going to do now? How are we going to implement that? How are we going to determine whether or not we're being successful, and whether or not, after all that's done, whether or not we're actually going to go through and implement this plan or not? It's not only given us the platform from which we can have the time, but also the tools to actually go through the process in a very organized way. For people, I think, who are applying for the CIT program, I think there's a number of things. I think we are not your general healthcare organization in terms of what we do. You don't have to fit exactly into the model that you're thinking of in terms of hospital versus not hospital, outpatient, inpatient. I think you can use these tools for any group to kind of develop or improve the health of your population. And that's the goal that we all have. It's been a great process because we feel like, I think on a day-to-day basis, you can really struggle with feeling like you're kind of running in place, especially with our population, but it's given us the opportunity to really think about whether or not we can make long-term changes. Do I think that CIT has empowered us to make changes? Absolutely. We can not only make the changes, but determine whether or not those changes that we make are having an effect on our population. It may seem like just a small piece that we're working on, but if you think about 71% of our folks using tobacco and it being the second leading cause of death in our population, wow. If we made a change with that, using CIT as the impetus for it, it's huge.